another thing that was playing on my mind about going on retreat, having done retreat days and spaces, bits of yoga over the years, been very much aware of it. Visualization plays a part in sort of therapeutic retreat contemplative practices. A lot of autistics will report something, and I'm not sure if I'm saying this right because I've only ever seen it written down. Aphantasia. Aphantasia? A-P-H-A-N-T... A-S-I-A, I think. And it's to do with visual imagination or lack of it. And while I have a visual memory to actually create a brand new picture or composite pictures of places that I've been to, I can't do it. I don't know what I'm meant to be thinking. I remember when I was first reading Lord of the Rings, and I know what the words mean, so as I'm reading the words, I get the meaning of it all. I know what's being said. I know the description. If I'm being asked to think of hairy feet, well, I know what hairy feet look like, but for me to picture a whole Hobbit or some of the vast sweeping landscapes of Middle Earth and Mines of Moria and all that kind of stuff, what am I meant to be thinking? It's like there is nothing. There's a meme I came across ages ago. It shows Elijah Wood as Frodo, and then the text to Frodo. It's like Frodo Baggins in the film, Elijah Wood, Frodo Baggins in the book, and it's the text, and it was exactly it. I know what the text means, but if I want to try and picture something brand new, it's really hard to come up with it. I can have a go and I'll get bits of it. Anyway, so I was thinking this is going to be a retreat. I might be asked to do a lot of picturing and visualization and stuff like that. Yeah, thankfully it didn't really come up. There weren't any times of sort of laying on the floor and picturing this, that or the other. So, aphantasia, I think. I know I experience it or don't experience it. But yeah, that's another thing about being autistic. Like anything, any function of the brain or the brain handles, the senses, the wiring of the body, it can be different for an autistic, which is a universe of differences. And another thing about autism is empathy. And another thing about autism is empathy, or the often misperception that autistics don't have empathy, that somehow autistics must be kind of emotionless automatons. Not so, I'm afraid. I speak for myself and a few other autistics I know, in fact, that we experience empathy to the degree where it can be overwhelming, that you start feeling empathy for objects, for creatures, for people around you, to the point where it's too much. And if you remember that analogy to a mixing desk that I mentioned, the best thing to do when the inputs get too much is to turn the master volume down, is to give the perception that nothing much is going on at all. Anyway, yeah, so empathy or over empathy, lack of empathy. Autistics are among the most empathetic people I know. It's not just as a boast, it's just an observation. And it can be a massive problem because you feel too much. My customer service is practically second to none, and I know this because I've been told this by different employers and where I currently work. And this is because of empathy. I am looking to meet people in their need, to help them out where necessary, to vibe where they're at. It's not something I particularly switch on because it's there, but it means that when I interact with people, I'm trying to be aware, and I'm being aware of how my actions, my words, my attitude may impact them for better, and I hope not for worse. So empathy on a retreat is of particular relevance because you're there sharing stuff with other people and they're sharing stuff with you. And you have to remind yourself, well, whose feelings am I feeling anyway? Your own feelings tend to be turned up to a very loud volume. And it was certainly a lot of heavy, important stuff which was helpful for people to talk about on the retreat. And the empathy issue was certainly there, and I tried staying anchored in my own feelings, but and again they were kind of tumultuous, tsunami-like at times. So there you go. Over empathy.